Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. It is the new year. This is my first live video in the new year. A lot has gone on. And I know with all of you, it's the same thing. It's about 7:30 in the morning, California time. I'm going to go ahead and tag some people to watch. Though I don't know who is awake and who isn't. But you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to tag you anyways. I have a lot to report. I know I've been trying to do it almost daily, sending in a live video. But since Christmas, things at the Myki household have been just ridiculous. And judging by everyone else's posts on Facebook, so have yours. It looks like the ending of 2017 really kicked us all kind of in the butt. Jerkosaurus. Jerkosaurus, what up? Oh, what up, Carla? So I had a little recap because I'm going to announce to all of you where my progress has been since joining Jamie Pau Fitness, what I've lost, what I've gained, and the new challenge I've put forth for myself. And to go over a New Year's resolution, right? And my theory on, not theory, but my thoughts on New Year's resolutions. So a lot of you know, you've been following my Facebook. My mom got really, really sick and ended up in the ER, and she almost didn't make it that first night. And she was in there for 3 days, sorry. As you know, she suffers from COPD. She's handicapped. She's disabled. She has a really bad drinking and smoking habit that she's never going to give up. And it was touch and go. Like, that first night was really hard with my mom. And I mean, I was crying talking to the doctors of options, and when they didn't think she was going to make it. And then it took her third day, and she was finally being released from the hospital, which took 5 hours before she could leave. In the course of that, I had to take my mom home as I'm nursing my daughter, who's been sick since Christmas, and also my stepdad, who was getting over bronchitis, right? This was all going on in my house at the same time. My sister and her family and her 7 pets were in between places. They were suddenly homeless. It was a situation out of their control, and we stepped up as family to help them out, to give them some solid sanctuary so they can work on getting a new digs, right? I mean, it just happens. You're there for family. I'm trying to hold this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sore this class today. So then I drove right after taking my mom home from the hospital out to Fairfield to pick up my family. And it was my sister, her son, her man, 6 dogs, and cats to come live with me, my parents, my daughter, and our 2 cats. And that's been since the 30th of December, the day before New Year's. What the great thing is, though, for me, it's been a lot of stress. It's been quite the anxiety. But I'm proud of myself because I did not falter on my workouts. I did not falter on my eating plan, because all of you know I started with Jamie Pau Fitness here in Rockland a little over 3 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago Wednesday. Actually, it was like 5 weeks ago Wednesday, but then I went to Florida. So I only had 2 workouts in. No eating plan, so I don't count that. So I started a little over 3 weeks ago. I was put on a restricted eating plan. Remember that? It was like I can only eat like 12 things. Cut out fat, sugar, salt. Salt was the biggest one. And then I'm here at her gym every day doing circuit training, doing strength training. Saturdays, it's 3 classes in a row. I mean, I'm exhausted and sore every day that I'm here. And I've been reporting my progress. So check this out, guys. This is what happens when you stick to your goals. Despite shit going around you that sucks, that brings you down, that breaks your heart, that breaks your spirit. This is what happens when, despite all of that around you, you can stick to the goals you set for yourself. Ready for this one? Yeah, I thought you were. So I started at 48.3 body fat. Basically, half of my body was fucking fat. My weight, over 188 pounds. Over. I'm 4'11", do the math. It's the biggest I have been since I was pregnant with my daughter, which was 23 years ago. A lot of that weight came from driving for a Lyft, because I just sit in this damn car and I snack like an idiot. So the middle, I looked like Jabba the Hutt. It was the grossest thing ever. It was the most uncomfortable thing ever. I was out of breath doing the dumbest stuff. My clothes weren't fitting anymore. That's what I started out at. And then, of course, we have to do how long it takes us to run a minute, or how long it takes us to run 1 mile. That's calculated. Also, how many push-ups we can do in a minute, how many crunches we can do in a minute. That's what we start out with, right? And then, of course, our body measurements, which I don't remember what they were. So that was 3 weeks and 2 days ago. Today, I started this thing at Jamie Pau Fitness called the New Body Challenge, and I have a partner. We have the next, I think it's 6 weeks, and there's prizes involved. So there's different categories to excel in, and there's over $500 in cash prizes for these things to reach. So, good morning, everybody, by the way. I'm sorry, Michelle and Ryan and Grandmaster Amakuchi and Vladimir, and who else popped on? Carla popped on. Hi, guys. So, I had to get all that measured today. And guess what, guys? I've lost over 8 pounds in 3 weeks. My body fat percentage went down to 41.5. So that's 6%. Almost 7% body fat gone in 3 weeks. Now, I know my mile, I've increased it by a minute, so I can do it a minute. It takes me a minute less to do the mile. I think it was like nearly a 15-minute mile, and I'm under 14. I'm like 13 minutes, 52 seconds. So I increased that by like a minute. So I'm pretty sure I increased my push-ups and my crunches. Now, this is the funny part. Today's circuit was all shoulders and push-ups. The whole 50 minutes. When she does circuit classes, the only break in between stations is 10 seconds to get to the station. And then boom, there goes the buzzer. You're into that fucking grind. And my phone is propped up on my steering wheel because my shoulders and my arms are shaking. But this is the cool thing. If you're competitive, you know what I mean. So when I have to do my minute push-ups, obviously I'm tanked. So I think I completed 34 push-ups in a minute, which I know was more than when I tried them 3 weeks ago. But can you imagine what my push-ups will be like when this is all done? And I'll make sure I do them before I do any workout. Yeah, that's how you do it when you're competing. That's how you do it. Okay, it wasn't on purpose, but I realized that was a plus. Guys, that's what happens when you stick to your goals. Ladies, this is what happens when you put yourself first. And I say this to ladies because we as women, we never put ourselves first. We always put our family first. We'll put our children first. We'll put our loved one first. We'll put our husband. We'll put our wife. We'll put our mother. And deep down inside, the reason we're doing it is because we're scared to do it for ourselves, because we're scared to fail. Let's be real. I create my own motivational videos, but I listen to motivational videos every day because that's what charges me. On the drive to the gym, I listen to them. If I'm running, I'm watching and listening to them. Procrastination doesn't exist. Procrastination just means you didn't want it hard enough. That's it, right? That's it. Because let's face it, if you had to be at the gym every day at 5 a.m., would you actually do that? If you were to show up somewhere every day at 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. and you were promised $1 million every time you showed up at 5 a.m., would you do it? It's the incentive behind it, right? Exactly. Guess what? You are the $1 million. Every day at 5 a.m., you are the $1 million. My New Year's resolution started in August of last year, so by the time New Year's Eve came, I didn't really have one. I was busy grinding. I drove Lyft for Christmas Eve, for Christmas, and for New Year's Day because I needed that money, and I wanted that money. Family dynamic at home has been rough, but you know what? I realized I do have a New Year's resolution, but it's for every day, and that is the art of letting go. And what I mean by letting go is me as a person, and you might be able to relate to this, I am truly learning how to let go. And by letting go, not being bitter about why I'm letting go. Not being angry about why I'm letting go. Just literally letting go. And I mean emotionally. Right now it's this body. I'm letting go of the body fat. I'm letting go of the weight. I'm letting go of the excuses as to why I let my body get out of control. I'm letting go of bad eating habits. There has been quite the temptation. You saw my post. My stepdad, who's diabetic, he uses the insulin to support his sugar habit because he's addicted to sugar. He bought 4 pies to himself, and there's a mincemeat pie, an apple pie, a pumpkin pie, and a pecan pie. My mom had 2 pieces of pecan pie. My daughter had 1 piece of pumpkin pie. The rest of it, he ate it all in like 6 days. I didn't touch it. I took my nephew, who's now staying with us temporarily, and my daughter out to Rick's Dessert Diner downtown Sac. You know that place is the bomb. I had none. People offered me food. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't eat that. We go to a restaurant. I have to pick things. I have to be mindful of what I eat. but I do. It's a challenge because every day that I step on that scale and every time I go into class and I can push myself a little bit harder and do a little bit better, it's all worth it because I owe this to myself. So that was my New Year's resolution to a new year, to a new life, was the art of letting go. Letting go of people that even if I love them with all my heart, whether I love them as family or I'm in love with them, learning to just let them go. You know, I'm an empath and I have insecurities and I have abandonment issues, all these things that I admit to myself. So I know that once I invest in somebody and I connect with them, I have the darndest time letting them go. They become a part of me. But I'm learning that that's not healthy if they're no longer in my life on a positive scale. People aren't meant to be in your life forever. They're just not. I'm learning to let them go, whether it's, you know, friends, whether it's co-workers, whether it's lovers, whether it's even family members. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Now, it doesn't mean I wish horrible things on them, and it doesn't mean that I'm mad at them, and it doesn't mean that I'm disappointed in them, because it's not them, it's me. If I'm choosing to have them in my life, I need to choose to not have them in my life. Yes, there's that segment of, you know, your tribe and people who invest in you. Yes, that does exist. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but come on. Trust only movement. My words, hopefully they're inspiring you right now. But what do you trust more? That I'm telling you I'm going to lose weight, or the fact that I did lose weight? What do you trust more? The fact that I'm telling you you should really watch what you eat, or the fact that I am here living proof telling you I have been tempted and I did not falter? My actions are what are inspiring you right now. Not just my words. My actions back up my words. If actions don't back up words, the words mean shit. Right? Take it from Donald Trump. Take it from him. So there you go. That is my New Year's resolution for 2018 and beyond. May you have made one for yourself that wasn't as simple as, I'm going to get a Ferrari this year. I'm going to cut my hair this year. Maybe it's something like quitting smoking because you want to better your life. Maybe it's something like stop making excuses for myself and blaming other people, which would be accountability. Make it something meaning and worthwhile that's in your heart and in your soul and in your mind, body, and spirit, that it affects it in a positive manner. Do that for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't let anyone else get in your head and tell you different. Take what you can, file it away, leave the rest for others. So that's it. I want to thank everyone who piped in and listened. Who else joined in? Janelle. Thank you, Janelle. I do got this, don't I? So do you. And Kristen. Oh, hi, Kristen. And Renee. Thank you all for watching. I hope some of this or any of this has inspired you, and that it resonates with you, and that you can, you know, apply this to yourself and move on, because you all inspire me on the daily. I watch your feeds, even if I can't comment all the time. I see them, and thank you for those that are posting positivity and those going through it. You'll get through it. Just remember to breathe and drink water. Plenty of it. You need water. You need to breathe. If you don't do good for yourself, you're not good to anybody else. Remember that. So. Because why? What am I always telling you? Every day that you wake up, it is you who determines how your day will go. So manifest to be your best. And have a fabulous Friday, my friends.